Hello, this is Carolyn, and this kind of is an extension of the last video, simply because I think I'm even more tongue-tied when I first wake up than usual. That maybe I've got that undiagnosed attention deficit disorder, perhaps. Okay, it's a little bit too late to get me to take any medication for it now, so maybe I can just try to do better. Anyway, it would not have mattered what faith the people were that knocked on the door yesterday to speak with my husband. I do think it was my fault because on Facebook, it does not tell you what faith people are from, just if we are in your neighborhood, can we speak to you? And I thought it might lift Jim's spirits to speak to somebody. But in honesty, you guys could say that you're LDS or Jehovah Witness or whatever. Somebody asked, he was born and raised Lutheran. Before that, slightly, or there's some member of his family, and it might have been his mother, that they went to Catholic churches. And here's a reason why they stopped. Jim told me he was there with his mother, and one Sunday they locked the doors and wouldn't let anybody leave until they came up with a certain dollar amount of donations. And his mother decided at that time they were done. However, when Jim was hospitalized, he had a friend that was Jewish, so he started reading some of his materials. And the gentleman was also, okay, I wish that I had written this down. He was a born-again Christian as well. He described himself, and I want to say, as a realized Christian or a finished Jewish person. I don't know. You can get so many layers on this thing. But my thought is it brought a beautiful wave of peace to my husband to speak to this man. And my hope for yesterday was not to get some poor, inexperienced, or even very experienced people at the front door, getting them cursed at. I don't know if that's what happened, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say, probably did happen that way. I was not there. My intentions were pure. But in all honesty, you might want to put what faith you are coming to visit about. Because I'm sure that Jim is not the only one that's going to have a set group of standards. Okay, you were probably hopeful that he was the one that filled out the card to come by. And you did know his name, and you weren't looking for me, so I guess. But again, I apologize. If ever you come across Jim's name, and understand that a group prayer about anything positive and common ground would have been the best way probably to go. He's not going to agree with you. Maybe you did do him a favor because it gave him somebody to argue with besides me. But he don't go down the religious path with me because he feels I'm too far out there and too weird to even communicate with on that level. And hey, I'd like to keep it that way. You're not going to get any objections to me if you take 100% of his time on that topic. Anyway, I thought I would add that. I was not intentionally getting on here to criticize anyone's religion. And it definitely was not your fault if you got cussed out by coming to the door. Okay, thank you. Have a blessed day.